Do you know the sound of flowing water you just heard is the melody of healing? The water flowing inside us is also a part of nature, and when you feel the harmony between your body and Mother Nature, you will gradually be healed. Through this new podcast, I hope to spread positive values and reduce single-use plastic waste in the environment. Living in harmony with nature requires the effort of an entire community. Therefore, I hope we will change our habits together. Live sustainably every day, accumulate small changes into significant impact, and help the earth become more sustainable. Now, let's start this podcast episode with Whyso. Why are some people quick to cry while others are not? Some people seem to keep a stoic face in any situation. Others, however, shed tears easily, even when watching a short video on social media. Personally, I am a crybaby. Do you feel the same? Every month, I go through emotional turmoil over trivial things, get angry over small stuff, sulk, and end up crying myself to sleep at night. Today, I feel so sad. Come and comfort me. Bring bubble tea and bread. After crying my heart out, I stop, look in the mirror, and think, I still look pretty, sad but cute. I also see myself in the above verse, sometimes with swollen eyes from crying, looking in the mirror and feeling strange, then bursting into laughter. Sometimes I laugh out loud watching funny cat videos on TikTok, only to suddenly cry over a video of an old lady living alone. During such moments, I wonder, why are my emotions so unstable? Am I sad or happy? And when I'm happy, am I really happy? Why do I cry so easily? Can't I control my emotions and behavior? According to clinical health psychologist Melissa Garrity, crying cannot be judged as right or wrong. In other words, being a crybaby isn't necessarily bad. People cry not only when they are sad. Tears are a complex response of the human body. Unexpected warmth and overwhelming happiness can also bring tears to our eyes. We often think that tears signify sorrow. Most of us hate crying and find it terrible because crying, especially prolonged crying, makes our hearts and lungs feel abnormal. The heart and lungs contract with each bout of crying, and the breath lengthens and compresses, not providing enough oxygen to the blood, making us feel awful. However, that's the feeling before and during crying. It's different after crying. Up to 80% of people feel better after crying. Melissa Garrity also explains that crying can be therapeutic. Some people share that after crying, they can resolve issues better and move forward. To explain why you might cry more easily than others, here are some reasons. First, certain personality types are more prone to tears. Specifically, according to a study in the Emotion Review 2016, people with high empathy or sensitivity, known as neuroticism, tend to worry or doubt themselves and cry more often. People in this group are highly sensitive to their surroundings and other people's emotions and are easily affected by others' opinions and comments. Additionally, changes in hormones within the body can make one cry more easily. Dr. Gail Saunders from Weill Cornell University also confirms that hormones act as chemical transporters controlling bodily functions like hunger, reproduction, emotions, and mood. Anything that causes hormonal changes, such as premenstrual syndrome, postpartum period, or menopause, can make women cry more easily. Childhood trauma can also lead to frequent crying. The environment during childhood can affect how much you cry. Frequent or unexpected crying can occur if you bottle up too many emotions from past situations. A study by the U.S. National Library of Medicine shows that adults who experience childhood trauma tend to cry more and are likely to develop psychological disorders, such as depression, anxiety disorders, or other psychological issues. Gender-related reasons also explain why some people cry more easily than others. According to a study in Emotion Review 2016, women cry too, 4 times more than men. Dr. Garrity also shares that in society, women's tears are more accepted than men's, so they don't feel the need to hide their emotions. Hormones also play a significant role. According to the APA, the male hormone testosterone appears to inhibit crying, while women have higher levels of prolactin, making them more prone to tears. Cultural norms also make it harder for men to express their emotions. If a girl falls, her mother might say, "Stop crying, be good." But a boy might hear, "You're a boy, a little scratch and you're crying? Be strong." This seemingly encouraging statement places a burden on the boys' souls, making them hesitant to express their true emotions, forming a notion that boys shouldn't cry. All right, with all these reasons, it seems we understand why some people are more emotionally sensitive and tearful than others. It could be due to their sensitive personality, hormonal changes, childhood trauma, societal norms, or gender. However, mentioning these reasons doesn't mean that people who don't cry or remain calm in various situations aren't sensitive, don't experience hormonal changes, or didn't have childhood trauma. In reality, I know many people who face significant challenges yet endure them quietly. I know a friend who remained calm after a 5-year relationship ended, continuing her daily routine without any disruption. I also know a friend who silently held his mother's hand in the hospital until she passed away without shedding a tear. Another friend works 14-hour days, got into an accident in the morning, was robbed in the afternoon, scolded by the boss, and returned home late at night to sit alone in a quiet room, staring blankly without any expression. I haven't seen them cry, so I call them non-criers, but that's because I haven't seen it. I don't know what my friend went through that night. She might have cried her heart out, with swollen eyes, struggling to breathe. Yet the next morning, she used a cold spoon to reduce the swelling and put on a radiant smile. I also don't know if my friend didn't shed a tear while holding his mother's hand because he didn't want her to see him weak. They say hearing is the last sense to go when someone dies, so he restrained his pain to avoid making a sound. No one knows that after laying his mother to rest, he sat in her room, looking at their picture together, and cried like a child. Another friend, facing many troubles in a day, might have cried a lot in the past, even hurting himself, but now doesn't bother to cry anymore. Too much pressure has made him emotionally numb, now just silently enduring. Over time, losing emotional connection, he doesn't recognize or name his feelings. Not crying becomes an involuntary reflex. Children suffer less because they cry easily and are more innocent. Adults, due to repression and endurance, become more indifferent, operating like emotionless machines. Acknowledging that crying is a natural reflex unique to humans and an essential part of our bodies, it also highlights the emotional landscape of humanity. However, if you frequently cry alone, cry unexpectedly and without reason, feeling unable to control your emotions, something more serious might be happening. Not crying easily isn't a sign of toughness. Instead, it can harm your mental health, especially if you always try to suppress your tears. When the body faces strong emotions, the mind overwhelms reason, leading to tears. If your crying frequency increases abnormally and you can't control your tears or emotions, your body might be under too much stress, or you could be showing signs of depression. Dr. Sons notes that if you weren't prone to crying in the past but now cry excessively, sometimes laughing uncontrollably or getting irrationally angry, pay attention to emotional disturbances. It might stem from brain trauma, like a stroke or injuries, or memory loss, among other reasons. Behind every tear is a long story that outsiders can't understand. Crying often isn't shameful. If you're tired and sad, just cry. When words fail to express your sorrow, emotions can flow through tears, easing your heart. But please observe your crying patterns to spot any unusual signs and seek help promptly. Don't cry alone or stay isolated too much. Do anything, but don't bottle up your pain and cry alone. Though it releases some stress, the pain remains inside, unnoticed by anyone. You deserve more love, and those sparkling tears should be for things worth cherishing. Thank you, everyone, for following and supporting me.